Welcome to Dolly Talk. How is everybody doing today? We have another day of the fun, playful Nibble trial. Benjamin F. Morgan II of the esteemed Morgan family was involved in an altercation when he was in prison for just something minor, attempted murder, and got into an altercation with some guards and decided to take a nibble, as one does. So he, took a bite out of the officer or corrections officer and found himself with a third-degree felony. So we are going to go ahead and start the day here. Just realized I think my camera's like all crooked. How about, yeah, my camera is crooked. Huh. Go figure. I was always wondering why. Always look crooked. I guess it was. Huh? Okay. Oh, hey, Dreambird. How are you doing? And Brad is here. Well, hey, half Irish. They took a bite out of crime, but, crime took a nibble back. Yeah. Wow. It could have been a lot worse. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to go that route. But we got lucky. Well, with the charges.
Please stand and raise your right hand. You swear from the testimony you give in this proceedings to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Use water if you need it. That's a touchscreen.
May I proceed?
Please.
Good morning. Could you please state your name, spelling your last name for the record?
August, like the month, and then Nard, N-A-R.
It's
And I'm
Nard
going to
Dog.
make sure you keep your voice up so Mitch Slim can hear you and the jurors all the way in the back can hear you, okay?
Cool.
Where are you currently employed?
Lebanon Correctional.
And are you a corrections officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been a corrections officer at Lebanon Correctional?
/ part-time food taster.
2 years, be 3 in May.
So about 2.5 years?
Yes.
And what are your job duties and responsibilities as a corrections officer?
Don't
Maintain
forget.
order of the prison, inmate safety, range checks,
Okay.
normal thing.
I'm still having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Sir, the gentleman way back in that corner needs to hear you. So you need, and the microphone does very little. It doesn't really amplify your voice. It's just recording. So I
Okay.
just need, the courtroom's not that big. You can hear me okay, can't you? Yeah. So you can see my voice. This is my normal voice. So, all right.
Yes, sir.
So you said maintain order, inmate safety, things along those lines.
Yes, ma'am.
And were you so employed and on duty on the evening of May 16th of 2024, last year?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your assignment that day?
I was a relief officer.
What does it mean to be a relief officer?
So relief officers like going block to block, make sure the officer's okay, maintain order in the corridor, West Corridor specifically.
Okay, so you were assigned to the West Corridor?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you aren't, yesterday we heard from Corrections Officer Bills, he was assigned to K Block. You're not assigned to a specific housing unit.
No, ma'am.
You're just kind of roaming.
Yes, ma'am.
You go where they need you.
Yes.
Did you have occasion that day to have contact with an inmate by the name of Benjamin Morgan?
No, ma'am.
On May 16th, did you have a contact with Benjamin Morgan?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And do you see
The
Benjamin
reason
Morgan
you're
in the
there,
courtroom
sir.
today?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you point him out, identify something he's wearing?
A maroon.
I think he has a piece of my shoulder in between his first and second incisor.
Sweatshirt.
Identifying the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He's a
Prior
nerd.
to that day on May 16th, were you familiar with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
How were you familiar with him?
His dietary
Just
habit.
normal officer duties. I've worked in K Block before, night medication.
Okay, so you had come into contact with him. Did you have any issues with Mr. Morgan?
No, ma'am.
Did you have any problems with him previously?
No, ma'am.
All right, so on May 16th, how did you come to have contact with Mr. Morgan?
His
Also,
mouth.
Bills and Garcia were working in K Block, and someone told someone else to 15 their location
You said 15 their location. What does that mean?
to report to. So just to come to my location because they may need assistance or something of that nature.
Okay. And so is it your job as a relief officer to respond to calls like that?
We don't respond to them, but we do go down just to make sure everything's okay, just in case they need extra assistance.
Okay, so you kind of head that way.
Yes, ma'am.
And on May 16th, when you heard that 15 to my location, did you head to K Block?
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, is a signal 3 called?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a signal 3?
Emergency response. So our relief officers need to respond to that location, and one person from every block needs to respond to that location also.
And how are you supposed to respond to a signal 3?
Running.
Do you, as you're already heading to K Block, do you hear the signal 3?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do as a response in response to hearing the signal 3?
I start to run to the location where Officer Bills and Garcia are.
And what happens when you get there?
Get a bottle of A1.
It looks like they're holding the door or they're trying to open the door. So I go up and I yank the door open.
Okay.
And then once I yank the door open, Offender Benjamin or Offender Morgan was standing there in a fighting stance. And then
Mads.
it turned into a use of force.
Okay. So you get there, you open the cell door, and Offender Morgan takes a fighting stance.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what do you do as a result of the defendant taking a fighting stance?
To protect myself and others that were around me, I took a fighting stance as well.
Okay. And then what happened?
I used the short end of my PR-24 and threw 2 strikes to his abdomen region.
And what is a PR-24?
PR-24, it's a monodoc PR-24. It's 24 inches long. It's a piece of plastic. It's like a baton. We keep
And
it.
so when you say the short end, what do you mean?
So the short end, it's like so the PR is 24 inches long and there's a handle on it. And the short end is on this end of the handle. So you hold it like this. And there's a long extended end that goes down the forearm.
And so you said
Whoa.
you struck him twice.
Yes.
Where did you strike him?
In his lower abdomen region
And what was the point of doing that?
to gain compliance and just to settle him down because he seemed aggressive.
And was that effective in gaining compliance?
It was not, no, ma'am.
And so what did you do next?
I rushed into the cell to try to turn Offender Morgan around to place him in hand restraints.
And when you did that, when you rushed into his cell and made contact with him, where on his body did you make contact?
His upper torso, like his shoulders.
Did you at any point, as you're doing that, punch him in the face?
No, ma'am.
What happens after you rush into the cell?
After I rushed into the cell, I ran Offender Morgan into the dresser area. They have dressers in the cells. So I ran him into that. And then as I attempted to turn him around, more officers responded into the cell. And that's when I was bitten on the shoulder.
Okay.
Whoa, come on.
And so you said your shoulder. Which shoulder did he bite you on?
My right shoulder.
And describe how he bit you.
So when I was attempting to take him out of the cell, I was trying to turn him again. And he made like a sound and then
Yum.
bit me on the shoulder. He didn't hold it, but he bit it real fast.
Did he bite hard?
It was hard, yes, but it didn't hurt.
Okay. Did it break the
Oh,
skin?
Yes, ma'am.
Did it leave a bruise?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you said he made a sound. What do you mean he made a sound?
Yum.
It was like a
Mm.
I'm about to bite you sound. So it was like like you're about to take a bite out of something. So,
What?
And then that's when he bit your shoulder.
What? What the hell is an I'm about to bite you sound? Huh? What?
it was like I'm about to bite you sound. So it was like like you're about to take a bite out of something. So
And then that's when he bit your shoulder.
the defense attorney had to calm his client down. I did not make no I'm about to bite you sound, good sir.
It was like like you're about to take a bite out of something. So
And then that's when you bit your shoulder.
yes,
And you said it broke the skin. Were you wearing something similar to what you're wearing today?
yes, ma'am.
So you had like a polo shirt on?
Yes.
What happened after the defendant bit you?
After he bit me, we pulled him out of the cell, got him in restraints, and I went straight to the infirmary because I knew I had been bitten by it.
Okay. So you knew you'd been bitten, you had to go to the infirmary. Was OC spray sprayed after you got there?
After I got there, no, ma'am.
Or were you not a part of that maybe?
I don't think I was a part of it.
You never sprayed OC spray?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so is it fair to say that after you were bitten and inmate Morgan is taken out of the cell, other officers take over?
Yes, ma'am.
You're no longer engaged in trying to get him in hand restraints?
Yes.
And when you use force, do you have to submit a use of force report as a part of your job as a corrections officer at ODRC?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there then an investigation as to that use of force?
Yes.
And were you reprimanded at all for your use of force related to this incident?
No, ma'am.
Were you wearing a body camera on May 16th of 2024 when you had this interaction with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Where, you don't have it on right now, where do you typically wear it? Where does it sit on your body?
My sternum area.
So kind of underneath your buttons of your polo shirt?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it operational on May 16th of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And did it record your interaction with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you reviewed that video?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it a fair and accurate representation of your interaction and your altercation with Mr. Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, permission to place State's Exhibit 2.
Proceed.
I think we're going to see this.
So where are you right now?
This is the West Corridor.
And are you heading to K Block at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
Are you in K Block?
Yes.
And are you heading up to the second range?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
So we can see this black object.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
tell the jury what that is?
That's a PR 24.
And is that kind of towards the short end that you're holding the handle, is that correct? Or that's what we can see?
Yes, ma'am.
Get out! Fight me!
I'm gonna play it one more time without pausing.
Thank you, dear. There we go. Taking the time. I'm on my way to be dead. Don't fail me now. Wow, so he really whipped it open. Hey, Gigi.
Do you end up on the
Good to see ya.
floor?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And when you hear a signal 3 called, what is your expectation of what you're arriving to?
Someone is being assaulted.
Okay.
Or someone's in danger.
Okay. Danger or assault. And is that a fair representation of what occurred when you responded to Benjamin Morgan's cell?
Yes, ma'am.
If I could have just 1 second, Aaron.
Take your time.
I have no further questions at this time.
Cross?
Today I can actually say good morning. Good morning, Officer Nard.
Yes, sir.
Here. Nard.
I'd like to make a point of clarification as to what I thought I saw in the video. When you actually arrived at the cell, it appeared that the 2 corrections officers at the cell
Yeah, Pepita.
were trying to yank or pull. They were holding on to the cell. And you just testified you yanked the cell door open. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So they're standing there. I've used a term. I'm sure you're familiar. Oh, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with the term de-escalation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you say, and I think it was officers Bills and Garcia
Yes,
who
sir.
were already on location before you got there.
Yes, sir.
Were they essentially holding onto the door and de-escalating the situation?
I would say they tried to beforehand before they used force.
But they weren't doing anything at the door except standing there when you arrived.
Yes, sir.
And you testified you yanked the door open.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you yanked the door open, it looked like inmate Morgan was standing back from the door and did take, when it got yanked open, a fighting position. Or how would you describe it? Squaring up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at that point, it was still possible to shut the door, right?
No, sir.
In your mind, you thought because he squared up, you needed to charge in and take charge of the situation. Is that correct?
No, sir.
But you did charge in. Okay, now do you remember being interviewed by Trooper Schuler
Yes, sir.
about this incident?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true? I know you were just doing your job, as you saw under the circumstances. But isn't it true you told Trooper Schuler that officers Bills and Garcia were trying to open the cell door?
Yes, sir. That's what it appeared to be to me.
That was the conclusion you drew when you got there, right?
Yes, sir.
But the video doesn't show them opening or closing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you concluded they're trying to open it up, and you yanked it open.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you saw inmate Morgan square up, you immediately squared up. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And not only did you square up, but you charged in.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, isn't it true that you told Trooper Schuler that you entered Mr. Morgan's cell, threw a couple of punches, and hit him 2 times with your baton?
No, sir.
Okay, well, we'll get back to that in a second because I'd like to play the brief interview for the purposes of refreshing your recollection and any prior inconsistent statements on the
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. I don't need the commentary. Ask a question, please.
Okay. Isn't it
Good.
true that Mr. Morgan never threw a punch?
Yes, sir. That
He
is,
never threw a punch.
no, sir.
Okay. Isn't it also true that the bite that you're referring to only occurred after you punched him and hit him with your baton?
After I hit him with my baton, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Your Honor, I request permission to play only the part of the interview with Trooper
May
Schuler.
we approach?
Yeah, that commentary. Oh, he's got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go, we have to do something outside of your presence at this time, so I'm going to excuse you to the jury room. It's easier for you 12 to move than for all of us to move, so I will apply during. All right, we're still on the record now, outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Newberger, do you wish to play the video?
I do.
All right.
I'm going to skip ahead to where we have audio.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
In your own words, can you kind of tell me what happened?
So I remember
Can we increase the volume?
Garcia or Bill's asked them in the 15-minute location. And normally we go there to just make sure everything's all right. And while going up there, like on the range, our signal 3 kicking. Someone's off running. To me, it looked like they were trying to open it and he was pushing it shut. But I just remember yanking it open and he was right there squaring up.
He was already ready to fight you.
Yeah. So I squared up.
Okay. And the purpose of that is to control him, so he wasn't out of control of that early, right? Okay. Then you guys got into a physical altercation where you had to use force in order to control him. During that altercation, I think you got injured, right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of injuries did you have? What happened? If you can tell me.
So after we got into our altercation, on the way out of the cell, like while we're in the cell, there's a bunch of officers in there, and me and him had almost separated basically. And he like leaned over and then bit me.
That inmate?
Yeah, Senator Benjamin leaned over and bit me on the right shoulder. And that's when I hit, like, got whizzed out the cell right there.
Did he punch you at all?
No,
No, he didn't get any hits in. Okay. But he bit you on your shoulder. Did it break the skin at all?
he did break the skin in both top and bottom teeth, I believe.
Okay, and you went to the infirmary, and I think the report substantiates that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have to get any kind of follow-up medical treatment for that at all?
I did not. After I left the infirmary, I did go to the atrium after that. But
What did they have for you to do at all or anything?
they were going to do blood work, but then they, like, did all this stuff and found out, like, I was good.
Okay, all right. Okay, pretty cut and dry, right?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, I'm going to shut this off. The time is 1:55.
Your Honor, I would like to play this one more time.
Well, no, ask him if that's refreshed his
Yeah.
recollection.
Okay. After hearing your remarks, did you tell the trooper that you thought that Officer Bills and Garcia were trying to open the cell door?
Yes, sir.
Hang on a second. Again, the original question had to do with punches?
Correct. The original question had to do with punches.
Right, okay.
You know.
We're not in front of the, here's a problem. We're not in front of the jury right now. They are the trier of facts. So again, the purpose of taking this break
Yeah.
was to see if this video refreshed his recollection with regard to punches thrown. So again, I need to get the jury back in there because we're not going to go on to other questions until they hear them. So we need to find out, does that refresh your recollection or not?
Yes, sir.
And now ask the, okay, so.
Did you,
Okay, so no, I need to bring you can't go on. I need to bring the jury back in because you want to get into more evidence. They're the ones that have to hear it.
Oh, really, Sterling?
You understand what I'm saying?
I did.
Okay, so is there anything else that's refreshed his recollection so we can move on, right?
I believe so.
Okay, bring the jury back in.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Must be glad this whole thing's over. Was he okay after this incident?
All rise.
You can be seated. All right, Mr. Newberger, you may proceed.
Officer Nard, after you just heard your remarks to Trooper Schuler, are there any things that you noticed that you'd like to supplement that you didn't already answer?
I don't understand your question.
would you re-describe how everything went down after seeing this video? Any changes?
No, sir.
Okay, you still admit that when you arrived at the scene, you believed that the officers at scene were trying actively to open the cell door.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you yanked it open.
Yes, sir.
And also inmate Morgan was standing back in a squared up stance, and you came in and charged him,
Yes, sir.
and you struck him
Yes, sir.
multiple times.
Yes, sir.
And it's true that he never threw a punch at you.
Yes, sir.
And only after he had been taken down or hit with a baton, punches, whatever, that's when you felt a bite.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions.
Can you redirect?
Very briefly.
Okay.
If you respond, do you receive training when you become a corrections officer on the use of force policies?
Yes, ma'am.
And when to use force and how to use force and all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are responding to an incident in progress where force has been used, are you under any duty to kind of start back at step one and attempt to de-escalate the situation?
If force has been used, naturally, no, ma'am, because that means they're still aggressive, probably.
Okay. And if somebody assumes a fighting stance at you and you perceive that as a threat, did you perceive Mr. Morgan as a threat on May 16th?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a duty to wait for an inmate to strike you before you use force?
No, ma'am.
I have no further questions.
Any recross?
Yes. Thank you, Judge. Ms. Nicholson just asked you if when you arrive at the scene and you know force has been used, is it a signal 3? Am I remembering correctly? Is that where there is either the danger of force or actual force?
Yes, sir. So force would have been used or it's about to be used.
Possibly used or used.
Yes, sir.
So when you arrived, you didn't actually know which it was, did you?
No, sir.
And when you arrived, Officers Bills and Garcia were standing at the door. You didn't see any force being used, did you? They were holding onto the door, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you yanked the door open using your words, you did see inmate Morgan squaring up, as you put it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and at that point, you made the decision to escalate, enter, and use force.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no further questions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you have any questions for Corrections Officer Nard,
I'm usually pro defense, but my God, this lawyer's getting on my nerves. I like that he's pushing boundaries for his client. That's good. But this, okay, all right, is really tedious. And unless you're actually making a decent point, what do you get?
please reduce them to writing. Remember my instructions to not discuss or display any proposed question with other members of the jury. Everyone must turn in a card. Mr. Nard, the members of the jury have just a few questions, and I'm going to read them to you, and you'll answer them, and then the attorneys may answer follow-up for you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you attempt OC spray before using physical force?
Because I had to think fast. By the time I would have reached down and grabbed my OC, I could have been struck in the face or just hit.
Like that too. I was pretty hard on these guards in another trial. And I had some issues with the guards before, but this seems pretty textbook. Like, he's young, but he didn't seem to go crazy or anything. You know, he tried to get control. He came in to defend the other guards. Using OC in a small cell, ain't everybody just getting hit? Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I see what you're saying, Maz. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody would get a dose as well, so that wouldn't be his first preference. It's going to create, even more problems. Judge is being short with him, so he must have been annoying in chambers too. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I know looking at the docket, he tried to first raise not guilty regarding reason of insanity. That didn't go anywhere. And then he tried to just claim self-defense. And since they aren't arguing that in this trial, I'm going to assume that was also denied. And now he's just trying to say that what the officers did was unreasonable. Well, no. What the first two officers did was okay. And his client was being an asshole. But the second incident, which really is just part of the first one, was awful, and he did everything wrong because he opened the door. I mean, I understand he has very little to work with, but yeah. And that is the Nard dog.
Were Morgan's hands restrained when he bit you?
No.
What kept the door open when you arrived at the cell?
What kept it open? So the doors, they just stay open. Like if you leave it open, it'll stay open. So like how they had a hold of the door, if they would have let it go, it was still slightly open. So he could have just moved that door and opened it and began assaulting people.
Okay. At what time was the signal 3 called? And I'm guessing, I'm just interpreting this, that they're talking about at what point in the video was the signal 3 called?
Okay, so it was called like once I passed that offender in the green, I got about maybe 5 or 4 feet from him, and then they called the signal, and that's when you saw me begin to run down the range.
Was there any communication before or while arriving to the scene on what the situation was?
No.
All right, any questions based on the jury's questions, Ms. Nicholson?
No.
Mr. Newberger?
Yes. Officer Nard, N-A-R-E-D, I've had trouble with that from the beginning, and I apologize. I want to say Nard, but it's Nard, and no disrespect intended. But I believe you testified that after you yanked the door open and inmate Morgan was in a fighting stance, you charged in your decision, assessment of the situation, and there were punches from you, not from him, the use of the baton twice in the stomach area, maybe, or lower torso?
Yes, sir.
But no punches thrown by him?
No, sir.
Okay. So do you really know where his hands were?
Yes, sir.
Where were they?
His hands were somewhat like, can I describe? All right, they were somewhat like this due to me being on the inside of him. Like,
Well, were his hands still like this when you punched him and hit him with your baton, but he didn't throw any punches? Or do you not remember? I don't want you to guess.
I do not remember.
Thanks, nothing further.
All right, sir, you may step down. Call your next witness.
Today we'll call Investigator Eric Kerner.
It's hard to put me on the prosecutor's side, but God, this lawyer's doing it.
Raise your right hand. You swear for any testimony you give to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Some base, water if needed, that's such.
Good morning. Could you please state your name, spell, and your last name for the record?
Eric Kerner, K-E-R-N-E-R,
And where are you currently employed?
Lebanon Correctional.
In what capacity?
I am currently an investigator
And what does it mean to be an investigator?
to contraband interdiction into the facility, liaison between the department, Lebanon Correctional, and specific to other outside agencies.
And is it fair to say that you conduct investigations on kind of internal institutional violations?
Yes,
Like the rules that inmates have to follow?
yes,
But if there's a criminal investigation, you call the highway patrol.
correct.
How long have you worked at Lebanon Correctional?
Going on 21 years,
And how long have you been in your investigative role?
7.
What other roles have you held at Lebanon Correctional?
I was a corrections officer for 13 years. I was a correctional program specialist for approximately 3 years, and then a corrections specialist for approximately 4 years.
All right. Let's talk about a couple of those. We've heard about corrections officers, work in the blocks, have day-to-day kind of interaction with the inmates. What's a correctional program specialist?
You teach pro-social programs throughout the facility. You There to assist with the inmates in setting up their visitation list. You do their monthly security reviews. A lot of administrative stuff on behalf of the inmate.
And what about a correction specialist?
You oversee the program specialist. You oversee sergeants of the housing units at Lebanon. You supervise 2 housing units as a correction specialist.
And does any of your prior or current job duties that you've had at Lebanon Correctional include conducting use of force investigations?
My prior job did, yes.
Okay. So you, did you say you're familiar with the use of force policy that ODRC has for its corrections officers?
Yes.
Did corrections officers receive training on the use of force policy?
Yes.
When do they receive training?
When they are initially hired, and then it's an annual training from there on.
So every year that a corrections officer is on the job, they're receiving training on ODRC's use of force policy.
Correct.
And that includes any updates, amendments, changes, things like that.
Yes.
What is the purpose of using force within the Department of Corrections?
The primary purpose of using force is to maintain order within the facility by enforcing the rules and regulations, to prevent self-harm, to prevent harm to another individual or yourself.
How many inmates does Lebanon Correctional house?
Approximately 1,800, I think.
Jeez.
Do you have 1,800 corrections officers?
No.
How many corrections officers work any given shift?
Third shift is the most staffed, but as far as that's third shift. First shift is probably staffed with 75.
Less than 100
Yes.
for 1,800 inmates.
Yes.
180 inmates
So-
per guard.
Are
Or-
corrections officers trained to try other tactics before resorting to force?
Yes.
Like what?
De-escalation, talking with the inmate, give them directives, advising them what they are to do.
And is there a time limit that a corrections officer must use or must try de-escalation before they are able to move on to using physical force?
No.
Is it fair to say that every instance where force is used is a very case-by-case specific analysis?
Yes.
Are there certain situations that de-escalation just isn't feasible?
Yes.
Give me an example of that.
When an individual is determined in an aggressive, violent manner to receive a security increase, to show his affiliation to friends or gang members.
What if a corrections officer is responding to 2 inmates that are fighting with each other? Does that corrections officer have a duty to try to talk to them first before intervening?
Well, yes.
So that he's going to try to talk to them.
Yes.
Once force is used by a corrections officer who is dealing with a disruptive inmate or an aggressive inmate or a non-compliant inmate, do additional officers responding have a duty to start back at the de-escalation step?
No.
So is it fair to say that the use of force applies on a per incident basis, not a per corrections officer?
Correct.
Once a decision has been made by a corrections officer that they need to resort to force, is there a kind of continuum of force that they must escalate through?
They are trained and instructed to use the most reasonable force necessary to control that specific situation.
And we've heard about a couple types of force within this case. We've heard about OC spray, we've heard about a PR-24, and then like physical hands-on. Is a corrections officer trained that or required to use one of those first?
No.
Are those all the same level of escalation?
Yes.
Does anything in the ODRC policy require that someone is pepper sprayed before they are struck with a baton, before a corrections officer puts their hands on an inmate?
No.
And you talked just a second ago about a security increase. And we've heard video about a statement, I'm gonna go to Lucasville. What is a security increase? What does the statement, I'm gonna go to Lucasville mean to you?
It means that an individual will do anything at all means to receive a security increase. And when it's directed at a staff member, it would be in a violent nature towards a staff member.
Is a staff assault one way to accomplish a security increase
Yes,
or a move to Lucasville?
yes.
Sounds good, Gigi.
What is a signal 3?
It's a staff member calling for assistance.
And what kind of response does a signal 3 garner from responding officers? Is it an emergency response?
Yes.
How are corrections officers trained to respond to a signal 3?
Everybody runs, and as an officer, you would respond with your PR-24 in your hand.
Is a signal 3 called for like a medical emergency? Like if you respond to an ill inmate, you call a signal 3?
Not necessarily, no.
Are signal 3s primarily used in situations where force is being used?
Yes.
Why is it important that the inmates follow and the corrections officers enforce the rules within Lebanon Correctional?
It's our duty to maintain a safe and secure environment for all the incarcerated population, for the staff working there.
And we've heard this incident occurred in K Block. How many inmates approximately at any given time are in K Block?
At this time, 200.
And that's 2 ranges, 100 on each range.
Correct.
And how many corrections officers are assigned to K Block per shift?
2. Third shift, 1 officer.
And third shift is through the night.
Yes.
So nobody should be out of their cells.
Correct.
And so if range 2 of K Block is out for day room, that's approximately 100 inmates, give or take,
Yes.
with 2 range officers.
Yes.
What's a cell extraction?
It is a planned use of force where a team would get put together by the shift commander, and it would consist of medical staff, a crisis intervention person, but it is a planned use of force where you have time to set this up.
And how many corrections officers respond as a part of a planned cell extraction?
Minimal to none.
Okay, so who participates in cell extractions?
I might have misheard your previous question.
So how many staff members arrive with a planned cell extraction? How many staff members are a part of that group that go for a planned cell extraction?
Well, how many? The initial team to go in with protective equipment would be 5 to 6.
And when you say protective equipment, are we talking shields?
Yes.
Do they have headgear on?
They do have helmets.
Do they have
shin
body
guard,
armor?
Body armor, yes.
So is there I don't know what to call them, a special group of people that is assigned to go on cell extractions? Not necessarily a block officer.
Correct.
How do they enter the cell in a cell extraction?
Yeah, a single file line with the initial person holding the shield.
If I could have just one moment, Your Honor. Are cell extractions able to be used in the moment if an inmate is non-compliant?
No.
And once a inmate has been sprayed with OC spray, pepper spray, are they required to go to medical?
Yes.
Is that a policy within ODRC?
Yes.
If an inmate is involved in any physical altercation, whether they appear injured or not, are they required to go to medical?
Yes.
If OC spray has been sprayed on an inmate, is that inmate able to be secured by policy within their cell?
He will need to be removed to go to medical.
I have no further questions.
Cross. Is it appropriate to call you investigator, Kerner?
That's fine.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
In terms of, I think you were talking about training of corrections officers and the use of force. Is that correct? You were giving some information about that.
Yes.
All right. Do you teach, or is it taught, that a corrections officer may use force to the extent deemed necessary to control the situation? And since situation circumstance sensitive?
I don't teach use of force.
Okay, well, in your knowledge of the application of the use of force, when you're investigating use of force, you do investigate use of force situations, don't you?
In my current position?
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, would one of the things that you'd look for would be whether, when force is used, a corrections officer used the reasonable amount of force deemed necessary to control a situation?
Yes.
All right. Now, should a corrections officer, a signal 3, we've talked about a signal 3. We've had now 2 corrections officers say that a signal 3 can either mean there could be some use of force or there has been use of force, but it's not clear unless it's spoken. Is that correct? Signal 3 can have different meanings?
Signal 3 is staff needs assistance immediately.
Okay, so it doesn't explain use of force. It just says assist.
Assist, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, is it normal if somebody has an inmate, hasn't thrown a punch, hasn't kicked, hasn't bitten, but has become belligerent, argumentative, even threatening, to give some orders like turn around, cuff up?
Can you repeat that?
If
No.
you've got all these inmates, a couple hundred in a block, okay. And is it common for inmates to sometimes become belligerent, argumentative, and uncooperative?
Yes.
All right. So
All right.
in those situations, do corrections officers normally give commands like turn around, cuff up?
Yes.
Okay. If an inmate hasn't punched, kicked, bitten, spit, something like that, is it important for the corrections officer to attempt to use only the amount of force reasonably necessary to control the situation?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
Redirect.
Does a corrections officer need to wait to be physically struck before they use physical force?
No.
And if I have no further questions.
Any recross?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Mr. Kerner, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed questions with other members of the jury. Mr. Kerner, the members of the jury have just a couple of questions, and I'll read them. You'll answer them, and then the attorneys may have some follow-up for you, sir. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is the name of the training you get for the use of force / restraint?
I think the
Karate, Jerry.
the use of force policy is 63 UOF 01, and it's labeled behavioral intervention.
In the training that the officers go through to be
Oh,
made
we
aware
go
of
to the
that
judo
policy, what
ring.
is the name of that training?
Annual in-service.
Is there an amount of time that an inmate must be in medical after they have sprayed?
I think one of the jurors wants like the type of is this judo, karate, martial arts? My God. This isn't special service or special forces.
Been sprayed OC spray?
No.
All right, any questions based on the jury's questions?
Could you repeat the last exchange? I apologize.
He said no. I asked him about the question was about the amount of time the inmate must be in medical after they've been sprayed OC spray. He said no.
Thank you.
ODRC trains the corrections officers on the ODRC's use of force policy.
Yes.
You don't bring in an outside company to do that.
Correct.
No further.
Any questions?
No further
You
questions.
can step down, sir. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a morning break right now. It's about 10:35, so we'll break for 15 minutes and we'll come back.
Right.
Is inclined to give the self-defense instruction.
You're going to call another witness?
If the court is inclined to give the self-defense instruction at this point, then yes, I will have additional witnesses.
I am inclined.
Then I will have 2 witnesses, very brief.
Okay.
We do have the issue of the defendant's recorded statement. There's
Why don't we let Mr. Newberger go to the bathroom? Mr. Morgan, do you need to use the restroom, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's get him to the bathroom and then we'll come back and discuss this on the record.
okay.
Okay, so he has to go
So the state's gonna have 2 additional witnesses.
I'm kind of surprised they're going to be getting the self-defense instruction. I suppose, I mean, there is a modicum, bare minimum of evidence that it could be self-defense, but yeah.
They both have audio interactions with the defendant. And so I intend to play portions of each of those. I do not intend to play the entirety. I'm not trying to get into any, I understand Mr. Newberger's motions in limine, not trying to get into any of that stuff.
Bless you.
And so the portions
So good.
the portions I intend to play are very short and should not touch anything Mr. Morgan mentioned in his motion in limine.
I'm assuming, since they haven't been identified, that one would be some audio from the Rules Infraction Board hearing,
Correct.
and the other would involve Trooper Schuler's interview with Mr. Morgan.
Correct.
And I trust, I don't need to say this, but I'm gonna. I trust Ms. Nicholson from prior experience that she'll be very careful not to reveal anything about HIV or illness.
Jesus.
It's been discussed.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't transcribed these, but based off my notes, I do not believe anything will be brought in.
Nidawau, you're still here. Are you surprised that HIV was not allowed to be brought up? I mean, it seems. I mean, ow. Damn it, cat. I suppose judge doesn't want to create an appellate issue that doesn't need to exist. True. I suppose the HIV mentioning that is very prejudicial and it's not very necessary. But if they had gone and charged him with like intentionally trying to spread HIV, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that just to try to bring it in.
Is Mr. Morgan going to testify?
No. I have informed, for the record, repeatedly, Mr. Morgan's constitutional right to take the witness stand and speak in his own defense. He declines.
Well, he has the constitutional right not to testify. All right, so I just want to clean up the jury instructions. When we're talking about the jury instructions, is there anything else you guys? I cleaned up some typos and stuff that were in there, but
The way you have
I changed that too. So we're talking about
how the regular use of, or the regular self-defense is first and the CO
yeah,
second.
I'm gonna keep that. And then when I'm talking about the verdict forms, I've moved the if they prove all the elements, and I moved all the way to the bottom.
Your Honor, if the last copy,
there's another version since I sent one to you.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I know, because I haven't sent it to you.
I'm sorry.
My point is the only thing I changed is with regard to the verdict forms, the stuff, if you find the state proved all the elements, that was in there twice. It was after the elements of the original charge, and then I went into self-defense. So I basically have moved that out of the one area and moved it all the way to the end of the use of force.
If that's all there is, it's
all right,
not material.
I'll resend them to you right now, but I just want to clean them up and take it out that he's not going to testify. So let's, and I do intend to give an instruction with regard to defense, self-defense. And then you said these two witnesses are short?
Yes.
In the following.
They've really been introduced by the state.
Yeah.
2 videos. The only other exhibit that I have that I can delete from a USB drive is the interview with Officer Nerid and Trooper Schuler. Because there was no prior inconsistent statement, I don't know if that's an exhibit you would send back.
It's not. It
So
was never identified as an exhibit, so it doesn't come in. Again, getting back to your videos, you're talking about the 2 body cams?
The same video.
Yes, the same
Yeah,
video as the
I don't
state.
need to introduce them twice.
Are you going to introduce both of them? I take it.
Yeah.
Then I would.
Okay,
no
okay,
witness- yeah,
okay.
We're done.
So then the question then becomes, if we have 2 quick witnesses, it's 11 o'clock now, are we going to break for lunch and then come back and do closings?
The state is ready for whatever the court wants to do.
Saying,
How long do we need for closings?
I'm so bad at this.
I know you are. You're not as bad as some.
Like naming a time. You give me a time and I'll make it happen.
if we start back up at 11 and we go until 12:30, that should include closing arguments.
Correct.
So what I'm thinking about doing, and we may even go longer, a little bit longer, and I'll just go ahead and order lunch for the jury now.
Aw.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes? Okay, why don't we do this? Let's take a few extra minutes. Why don't we get them menus right now? Have them order lunch so Pam can get that ordered and have it here by, let's say, 12:30.
Nice, Pam.
Yeah, I mean,
So if each of these witnesses is 15 minutes, probably less. The last
honestly, blessed.
witness was less than 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Mr.
Okay, I'm skipping forward.
Call your next.
So, yeah,
Yes, sir.
Nancy, please. Water if you need it. Touchscreen.
Good morning. Could you please state your name, spelling your last name for the record?
Yes, my name is Jacob Elerick, Elerick,
And where are you currently employed?
the Lebanon Correctional Institution.
In what capacity?
I am a lieutenant,
And how long have you been at Lebanon Correctional?
approximately 24 years.
And what other jobs have you held at Lebanon Correctional? You're a lieutenant now.
I held the job of corrections officer, sergeant, and now promoted to lieutenant.
And what are your job duties and responsibilities as a lieutenant?
They vary from the Rules Infraction Board, which is the disciplinary process, to supervising corrections officers, to responding to emergencies of varies.
And so let's talk about your role as working with the Rules Infractions Board. What is the Rules Infraction Board?
The Rules Infraction Board is a board where you hear the disciplinary charges that are held against an offender.
So like conduct reports?
Correct.
And are those for violations of institutional rules?
Correct. Institutional rules of
Not crimes?
Correct.
And so, for example, if an offender is out of place and is written up, you would hear that report.
Yes.
And as a part of those RIB Rules Infraction Board hearings, are those hearings recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
And are inmates given an opportunity to participate in those hearings?
Yes, ma'am.
Do they have to participate?
No, not at all.
Do some inmates choose not to participate?
Yes.
But some inmates choose to participate?
Correct.
And did you have occasion to have in May of 2024, did you have occasion to have a Rules Infraction Board hearing with an inmate by the name of Benjamin Morgan?
Yes.
And was that related to an incident and conduct report he had received on May 16th of 2024 by Officer Nard?
Yes, that's correct.
And did Mr. Morgan choose to participate in that hearing?
Yes, Mr. Morgan did.
And did he give a verbal statement?
Yes, he did.
And was that recorded as a part of your hearing?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, permission to play a portion of State's Exhibit 3.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Can we look at Officer Nard again?
I think he's off the stand already.
Oh.
Sorry. I know. But I think we have a very handsome guy that kind of, oh yeah, a very sexy Robert Barnes.
Buff? I like my man a little bit more tan than that.
Morgan's already won. He's got his constitutional rights.
Who
The
is
Frank's
he?
hearing. The Frank's hearing.
The Frank's hearing.
Guy does
Who's
look
this?
like Robert Barnes. I'm sorry.
Who is this?
Oh, he's one of the last two witnesses just to get in some stuff to rebut his self-defense claim.
He's claiming self-defense, but he took a bite.
Yeah, in self-defense,
Oh.
as
right.
one
I thought he
does.
was just hungry.
He needed a Snickers.
He's just the Snickers. Look, okay. I know we're not making too much fun right now because Mr. Nard's brother
Yeah.
is in chat. And by the way, hi. But do you like Australians? But I gotta say that the defendant, he has good taste. Get it?
Yes.
Anyway.
229, I'm sorry, the error. Sorry, Jessica.
Jesus.
Go ahead with your statement, sir.
As I tried to explain that I'm forgetting lots of stuff and I'm losing all of my material. Make a long story short is that when the officer came in, he knew me by face. The other officer didn't know me. There was a new officer. He didn't try to talk to me. He didn't ask me. He could have just said, Morgan, put your hands back at me so we can go to the captain's office or talk, whatever. He didn't do none of that. He just came there and punched me in the face. And then he hit me with the PR. And that's what made me go to a stand. He pushed me on the desk, and I had to push myself off the desk. And it was said, I made a statement that I'm 10 times bigger than you or something. I don't remember saying any of that. But if I did, it was because he had me up against what you call it, and I pushed myself off, and that's how I end up nipping his shoulder.
Is that an accurate?
Nipping his shoulder.
Lipping his shoulder or nipping?
Is that an accurate representation of Mr. Morgan's testimony?
Lipping his shoulder, sir.
Lipping.
I love this defense. We go from nibbles to lipping to just taking a taste, you know.
Yeah.
My God, sir.
Nipping. Nip, nip.
Yeah, it's like a little goldfish. Just takes in some of the
Yeah.
food, spits it out, takes in a little more, spits it out. Good Lord, you bit him, dude.
A portion of it that he gave at the Rules Infraction Board hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see Mr. Morgan in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Could you point him out, identify something he's wearing?
Right there to my right.
To about
And a maroon
9 feet.
sweater?
Yes, in the room sweater.
Identifying the defendant.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Lieutenant Elric.
Elric, yes, sir.
Elric.
Elric, yes, sir.
I swear,
Was
if-
Mr.
okay,
Morgan given
if
any
you
restrictions as a
shut
result?
your eyes. This dude's a grandma. His voice, it's like Miss Doubtfire. Listen to him.
Okay. Okay. All right. His okays are so aggravating. Like he always acts like the person is lying whenever they answer, and he's okay. To every
I've noticed
question.
that. I was doing my hair before and like listening to him. I was sure it was a
Yeah.
grandma talking.
Of this Rules Infractions Board hearing, was he given 6 months, 180
Objection,
days?
Your Honor.
Sustained. Restate.
Did you describe, or was it described at the hearing, that Officer Nard arrived at the location of Signal 3, and saw Officers Garcia and Bills?
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach?
Please.
Accurately. Did inmate Morgan allude to or refer to officers, I'm presuming, I'm asking you for clarification, that Officers Bills and Garcia had prior knowledge of it,
Prior knowledge of,
interactions that they knew him?
yeah, that's what he alluded to. Yes, that's how I took it.
And did he refer to Officer August Nard as not having any familiarity with him?
Yes, that's how I took it.
Okay, thanks. No further questions.
Any redirect?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you have any questions for Lieutenant Elric, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed question with other members of the jury. I'm going to read it, you'll answer it, and then the attorney's going to have some follow-up, please. Yes, sir. Did Mr. Morgan know that he was going to be charged with assault before the discipline hearing you held in audio?
Can I ask a clarification question? Did he know he was going to be charged at that specific hearing with assault or before criminal court?
Before the audio that we heard, before that hearing, did he know that he was going to be charged with a criminal count in this court?
Not that I'm aware of. I can't speak for him for that. I do not know. At that point, a case was initiated in criminal court.
Okay. Ms. Nicholson, any questions based on the jury's question?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Huberger?
Let's stretch this a little bit. I believe that the recording indicated that his willing admission was that he was punched, batoned, and on a desk, and he was trying to push off a desk. And following those events, if I heard this correctly, that's when the shoulder nip occurred. Is that what we accurately heard?
Objection, Your Honor. The audio speaks for itself.
Oh, she is so fed up. Oh, that's
She's
the look
she's
you
always
give
fed
me.
up. She's always fed up. She always needs to go wee.
I know, but I think she's extra fed up, right? And the judge is fed up with this lawyer too. Like, he's so irritating. And I normally like defense lawyers. I'm normally on their side. And he's just,
Mhm.
my God, you lost me.
Sustained.
Okay.
Kind of outside the scope too, of what the jury's question was, so sustained.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Newberger? Any other questions, Mr. Newberger?
No, no.
All right, Mr. Ellis. Lieutenant Ellis. Thank you, sir. Call your next witness.
Trooper Michael Fuller.
Raise your right hand.
SHULER investigations.
And how long have you been assigned to the Office of Criminal Investigations?
Going on 3 years.
And how long have you been with the Highway Patrol?
Since 2016, so approaching 10 years.
And what are your current job duties being assigned to the Office of Investigations?
I am involved in usually felony level criminal investigations on state-owned or controlled property. I also assist the regular, if you will, road posts with in-depth investigation.
And does that include conducting investigations of criminal offenses that occur on the grounds of state prison institutions?
Yes.
And in fact, are you kind of assigned, for lack of a better word, to Lebanon Correctional? There are 2 Warren County prisons, correct?
Correct.
And you are primarily assigned to handle cases that come out of Lebanon Correctional.
Currently, yes.
Where is Lebanon Correctional located?
It's on State Route 63 in Turtle Creek Township, Warren County, Ohio.
And in that capacity, did you have occasion to conduct an investigation into a staff assault that occurred involving inmate Benjamin Morgan?
Yes.
And as a part of that investigation, did you have the opportunity to interview inmate Morgan?
Yes.
Did that interview occur in July of 2024?
It did.
So this happened in May. You interviewed him in July. Why the gap in time?
Our caseload is extensive at times. Some things are time sensitive. For instance, if we have a fatal hit skip crash from a post, I'm assigned to cover all of Southwest Ohio, as far north as Wilmington, Southern Dayton area, out to Adams County. So if a time sensitive issue arises where I'm involved in that, it gets pushed to the front of the line.
But as a part of this investigation, you did eventually interview inmate Morgan.
Yes.
And did you interview Corrections Officer Nard?
Yes.
And what else do you do as a part of your investigation when you're investigating incidents like this, such as staff assaults?
I obtain all kinds of paperwork that's available through the institution and the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction.
Yes, no,
So
Nick.
conduct reports, incident reports, medical reports, also video surveillance, and body cam footage from the institution.
Do you review all of that?
I review it, yes.
So you review the body cam footage, you review the statements made by corrections officers, and if there are any statements made by the inmate.
Yes.
Now, did Mr. Morgan agree to participate in an interview with you?
He did.
Did you advise him of his Miranda rights?
I did.
Why did you do that?
Because this was a criminal investigation. I am a law enforcement officer. He is not free to leave because I was interviewing him at the institution. So if he were to make any kind of incriminating remarks, I wanted to make sure that he was aware of the constitutional rights that apply.
And did he advise you that he understood those rights?
Yes.
And did he agree to participate in an interview with you anyway?
Yes.
And was that interview recorded?
It was audio recorded.
And have you reviewed that interview?
Yes.
And is that an accurate representation of your interview with inmate Morgan?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, permission to play portions of State's Exhibit 4.
Okay.
I'm starting it at the 11:31 mark.
Officers here. We snatched the door open. I was in the standing there, she actually opened, came in my cell, he said nothing, he was sitting on the chairs, I'm looking at it. Never heard about this guy. He came in and punched me in the face 2 times. Okay, he punched me in the face 2 times. And I was like, look, I'm standing up, here's the desk. I feel back on the desk. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I can't believe he just hit me. It just really happened. And so when he hit me took the PR and he made took the hand of the PR and hit me in the stomach. So I think I jumped off the desk or whatever. I jumped off the desk at that time. I jumped off the desk. And when I jumped off the desk, all I could feel was other people, other stuff punching me. I could still punch. And he's not as tall as me. So he comes up to the right here. And so I'm like over the guy, but I'm smaller, I'm waving this thing. But to make a long story short, I'm being hit. And so now I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And so I feel all these punches. And then I'm trying to look, and I see all these people in the cell. No one has said, just hold your hands out or nothing. No one has said nothing. But I just feel this officer keep punching me. And then I kind of was like, I was like, I'm tired. Why am I holding this? And so I'm trying to push off. And as I try to push off, I look at you. I did it. I didn't back down where I didn't go sleep. And I actually knew that I didn't go sleep. Because I just like, I just let them know, like, get off of me. Put punch me. Because I'm not punching that.
Is that an accurate depiction of a portion of your interview with Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that there were other parts of that interview?
Yes.
At any point during your interview, does Mr. Morgan tell you why he was upset?
Yes.
What's he upset about?
He spoke about specifically colored pencils, but his property being taken from him within the institution.
Objection. I'm not sure of the relevance. We have all the video of what the incident occurred.
May we approach?
Yes.
I don't want your pencils or your pencils or your pencils. I want my colored pencils.
Did Mr. Morgan at any point during your interview mention a cell extraction?
Yes.
What did he tell you about a cell extraction?
Well, speaking with me, he referenced that the corrections officers at his cell did not wait.
Who do you think wears the suit better, him or the chair? My God, did you go to Taylor and ask for the Office Max leftover special?
Where does one end and the other begin? It's kind of like camouflage, really. He's like a chameleon blending into the background.
He is, yes. He's
Yeah.
like a chameleon. Tee, you can't see me now. Tee, I'm a chair sprite. Tee.
That's right.
Instead of a wood sprite. Oh God, I can't get over that
What a good adaptation. I like that.
No. Just go to Goodwill and get a dead guy suit, and
I think he did.
mine fit pretty good. I had to lose 20 pounds first, but once I did, it fit really well.
For more staff to perform a cell extraction.
And are you aware of what a cell extraction is?
I am.
Objection, same grounds.
Overruled.
Did Mr. Morgan indicate in your
I've watched a few prison documentaries. Prisoners get really upset about small things. And one documentary guy was kicking the door and screaming for hours because he only got one slice of bread. Yeah, our friend Sean, potentially criminal, is a criminal defense lawyer in Ohio, and he said that inmates get really pissed about having their cells searched.
Yeah.
More, especially if it happens a lot. It's one thing, maybe it's routine, but it's their home. So, they tend to, get worked up pretty easy. And, they don't have a lot. So I understand why they're so protective. But
Yeah, I get it completely. It makes complete sense. Like that's all you've got, that little room and the stuff in it is all you've got of your own in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like to us, it might seem like, well, you're in prison. Of course, you're going to get searched at any point in time. You got to expect that. But they have it's a routine for them. Like,
they don't like the
expect
routine.
Yeah.
Disrupted.
And to have the routine interrupted and in their mind for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why? Why'd you do that? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So why are you doing that to me?
There was one, some of these cases blend together. There's one from a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was the spitter, but he got really pissed because they ended up searching his cell after lights out.
Mm.
And they didn't even find what they were looking for after he spit on them. But he got really pissed off because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Your interview that you just wanted to
gotta
talk to
put
somebody.
yourself in the mind of the person. Like I feel like a lot of people have just zero empathy for prisoners because they did something wrong. But you've still got to put yourself in the mind of the person living in that situation at that point in time, and you wouldn't like to be there and living in that tiny little room day after day, and like imagine how you would feel. Doesn't mean you have the right to act out, but it does put it in perspective.
Sure.
That's all I want to say. Go on.
He did.
Was Mr. Morgan cooperative with you?
Yes.
Did Mr. Morgan admit to you that he prevented the door from being shut?
Yes.
And did he express frustration at being asked to return to his cell?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Cross.
Good morning, Trooper Schuler.
Morning.
Now, when you interviewed Benjamin Morgan, I think it was pointed out by you that you Mirandized him.
Yes.
And you did that, I think you said, because he was in custody.
I do it as a formality anytime I'm speaking with somebody that could face criminal charges.
And you made that clear to him.
Correct.
And he agreed to answer all of your questions without an attorney, didn't he?
Yeah, he spoke openly with me.
Okay, and cooperate.
Yes.
All right. Now, I think we just heard this, but in case, I don't know where the tape started and I just want to make sure. Didn't he tell you that the corrections officer, Nared, snatched the door open without stating any commands like put your hands up?
He did.
Okay. Didn't he follow that up with being punched by Officer Nared in the face twice and then struck with the baton?
Yes, that's what he said.
I'd like to turn the attention, I think you had already indicated that in the course of your investigation, you look at everything you can, everything that's provided, videos, and you interview multiple persons. Is that correct?
Yes.
In the course of your interviews, did you have the opportunity to interview Officer August Nard?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude.
Isn't it?
I had a conversation with a freaking guy this morning about how his name is spelled and pronounced.
So it's Nared.
No, it's Nard. It's Nared, but it's pronounced Nard.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry. No, it's pronounced Nard.
Okay.
But it's, spelled kind of like Nared. But
gotcha.
It's like the guy just confirmed it. He seemed a little irritated. Just
Who's irritated? The defense attorney?
No. Nard. With his name being like mispronounced.
Fair.
I mean, my name is a CZ in it, so I'm kind of used to that, but I'm not even going to tell you what it is because I don't need another name to be called.
No.
He doesn't need another name to be called Ilya Satchel T-Bone.
Yes.
True that
Blind to
officer
Deep throat.
admitted to arriving at the scene, the cell, Mr. Morgan's cell, after officers Bills and Garcia were on location?
Objection, Your Honor.
Forget that. Isn't he in there for attempted murder? Well, yeah. I mean, and before that, he was in prison for 4 years for assaulting his disabled girlfriend who used a wheelchair and had cerebral palsy. And he took her phone and left. Took her phone so she wouldn't call the police. And then he came back, and normally a person would try to go through the door, but this gentleman decided to go knock on the window, push in the AC, and break in again to the house and assault her some more. Oh, wow. I just now remember that this defense attorney tried to run against Judge Peeler in 2014 and lost by 43 points.
What? Really? There you go.
Oh, I kind of wish this was in front of Peeler now. I mean, that's got to be really awkward to run against a judge, lose, and then have to try cases in front of that judge.
Yep.
David,
Wow.
Sal takes all his dates phones too. God damn it. Thank you, David, kind of. David, you should run against Judge Simpson.
Yeah, you might have a chance.
And then go in front of him after you lose.
Yeah, I want to sustain that. I mean, that gentleman's already testified, so his testimony is,
Thank you.
sustained.
Didn't Officer Nard tell you the officers were trying to open the cell door and Mr. Morgan was pushing it shut?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time for Trooper Schuler, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed question with other members. It looks like there's just a couple of questions that the jury is going to has, and I'm going to read them and you see how this. Did any medical records reviewed by you for your case investigation indicate that Mr. Morgan had sustained any blows from the COs?
When I reviewed medical documentation from the institution, no injuries were observed minus the OC spray.
Could Mr. Morgan see after being sprayed?
I can't comfortably answer that question. He had no vision. Vision issues notated by a medical document afterwards.
Any questions based on the jury's questions? Ms.
Very
Nicholson?
At any point in your interview with Mr. Morgan, did he indicate he had sustained any injuries as a result of this?
No injuries are mentioned.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Newberger?
Did you ask Mr. Morgan if he'd been hurt?
I don't recall if I specifically asked it, but I know it wasn't discussed.
Okay.
All right, Trooper, you may step down. Thank you, sir. Council approach. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the state is resting.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to take just a very, very quick break right now, and then we're going to come back. And it's my understanding the defense is resting as well.
Yes.
So at this point in time, we're going to come back and we're going to take a 5-minute break and come back and do closing arguments, okay? So with that, it's 11:40. Let's be back at 11:45, please.
All rise.
Okay, so closing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we've indicated, you have heard all the testimony and the evidence has been submitted. At this time, we'll hear from the attorneys and they'll give their summation of their cases. Ms. Nicholson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all of the evidence. You've seen the videos, you've heard the testimony of the witnesses. I want to talk a little bit about how that testimony that you've heard and the evidence you've seen is going to fit into the instructions of law that Judge Chief is going to give you shortly. The evidence in this case showed that on May 16th, 2024, inmate Benjamin Morgan was out of the place. A simple institutional violation that Corrections Officer Stephen Bills tried to remedy by asking the defendant to simply go to his cell and shut the door. A command that the defendant refused repeatedly, over and over and over again. Nearly 20 times, Officer Bills calmly gave the defendant a command to lock down. He refuses to do so, and so he gets hit by a short burst of OC spray, pepper spray. A signal 3 is then called. Officer Nard, Corrections Officer August Nard, who's already en route to K-Block, to the defendant's cell, based on the earlier request for assistance, hears the signal 3, starts running, and arrives at the defendant's cell as Corrections Officers Bills and Garcia are fighting over the door with inmate Morgan. The door is opened. The defendant takes a fighting stance, which Officer Nard returns, and then Officer Nard uses force to gain compliance. In response to that, Mr. Morgan fights Officer Nard. He admits to biting Officer Nard. Officer Nard tells you he was bitten. There was a bite mark that broke the skin and it left a bruise. Based on that, the defendant is charged with one-time assault. That on or about May 16th, he knowingly caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Officer Nard. Those are the elements that Judge Cheap is going to give you shortly. Knowingly. A person acts knowingly, regardless of purpose, when they are aware that their conduct will probably cause a certain result or be of a certain nature. Judge Cheap is never going to instruct you in this case that the state has to prove that the defendant intended to hurt Corrections Officer Nard. Just that he undertook an action that he knew could harm Officer Nard. And what is physical harm? Any injury, illness, or other physiological impairment, regardless of its gravity or its duration. We don't have to prove that Officer Nard was hospitalized, that he required stitches, that he sought further medical treatment. He told you he went to medical. He told you that it broke the skin, and he told you that it left a bruise.
I never showed a picture of it, though.
That's an injury. I don't have to show serious physical harm.
Maybe.
The judge isn't going to instruct you about anything more than any injury, illness, or other physiological impairment, regardless of how bad it is or how long it lasts. Ladies and gentlemen, the state has met its burdens. It has proven these elements to you beyond a reasonable doubt. You're going to be asked to consider some additional findings about whether the assault took place in or on the grounds of a state correctional institution, whether the victim was a corrections officer, and whether it occurred at a prison, and whether the defendant was an inmate. None of that's being challenged. The question for you in this case is, did the defendant assault August Nard? The answer is yes.
Salt.
You're going to be
Salt and
instructed on
pepper?
self-defense.
Salt and pepper Nard.
And I'm just going to leave you with this.
Well, it's
In the
tasty.
absence of excessive or unnecessary force by a corrections officer, an inmate may not use force against an authorized officer engaged in the performance of his duties. Unnecessary and excessive. You can watch for yourself. Nothing about the actions of any of the officers on scene that day was unnecessary or excessive. They were confronted with an inmate who refused to do anything asked of him. For 2 minutes, Officer Bills spoke to him in an even, level tone. Lock down, comply with the direct order, lock down. Please comply with the direct order. And what did inmate Morgan do the entire time? I'm a good fighter, fight me. Fight me, you spray me, I'm gonna fight me. I'm gonna fight you. I've dealt with bigger people than you.
Older man. Sorry.
He was combative and resistant
Dude.
the entire time. Fight me, I'm gonna fight you. I'm a
What?
good fighter, fight me. Fight me, you spray me, I'm gonna fight me. I'm gonna fight you. I've dealt with bigger people than you.
Older man.
What did you say?
Older men. He's correcting what he said in closing.
You can't just do that in the middle of the closing argument.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're misquoting me.
You have to say objection.
Well, it was the defendant that shouted that out.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought the lawyer said it.
No,
Oh, whoops.
I'll go back.
Oh,
Lockdown. Please comply with the direct order. And what did inmate Morgan do the entire time? I'm a good fighter. Fight me. Fight me. You spray me, I'm going to fight me. I'm going to fight you. I've dealt with bigger people than you.
Older man.
Oh, God.
Now his lawyer was like, shut up.
Shut up. He's like, you pipe
Yeah,
down, I'll fight you too.
If you can't even control yourself in front of the jury, my Lord. That's telling to me.
Yeah, yeah. And that on the jury, there's a few older men there, and they're like,
Yeah.
I've got to guard my shoulders. I've got some tasty shoulders.
I know. Hopefully no women on the jury wore a tank top.
Oh, he likes men.
True.
Sorry.
He was combative and resistant.
He said older people, correcting what the prosecutor said, or older man, yeah.
Older men. He said older men.
The entire time. They had no choice but to do what they did. Nothing was excessive. Nothing was unnecessary. The defendant was not entitled to use force back. He was not entitled to act in self-defense.
You've got like 30 minutes left, less than 30 minutes left, dude, of the entire trial. You can't just sit there for another 30 minutes and shut up. Like, I understand it's got to be hard to sit there, but dude, that looks so bad. Even for me, who wants to defend the defendant, who's got a bias for the defense.
He has ADHD.
Yes, that's it. Too much Tylenol.
Too much Tylenol, and a little bit of red cordial beforehand.
The state has proven this case, and we ask that you return a verdict of guilty. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newberger.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an interesting 2 days. I'm sure some of you had driveways to deal with and await yesterday. But now the case is at its conclusion. You've heard a lot of talk about rules. And you've heard testimony about force. And I think the testimony consistently was about corrections officers properly using force. In a correctional institution, facility, a corrections officer, well, the judge is going to give you very explicit instructions that talk about the use of force. But a corrections officer may only use force to the extent deemed necessary to control the situation. A corrections officer should attempt to use only the amount of force reasonably necessary under the circumstances to control the situation. If it gets out of hand and more force is used than would have been required, that's excessive. But that's not for me to tell you. The judge will explain. When I became Mr. Morgan's attorney, and I'm thankful that you're going to receive and be able to watch the 2 videos, that one of which you've seen repeatedly and another you saw today, because those videos are instructive and go with the rules that the judge is going to provide you with and discuss with you and give you a copy of. But I keep going back to the time when I became Mr. Morgan's attorney. Because when I watched that first video, I'm just a guy. Oh, I'm an attorney. Used to be a professor. I'm a parent. But one thing I'm not, at least not yet, I hope never, is an inmate in a correctional institution. And I'm glad that there are those of you who have friends and relatives in law enforcement. I'm not involved with law enforcement except in the trial setting. And I am absolutely certain that I'm grateful that I'm not a corrections officer. Because in both videos, I see 3 corrections officers trying to do their jobs. People make mistakes, and it's up for you. It's before you to decide whether a mistake was made here. Whether we went from reasonable force to excessive force, unnecessary force. That's for you to decide. But I've got to admit, when I watched that first video, I got angry. I got angry at Mr. Morgan.
Dude.
It took me a little while to get past that. to look at all the evidence. And you'll have all that before you. You've had it all before you. But I got angry.
Dude.
Because if my daughters had been that disrespectful to a teacher.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you giving a second closing for the state?
What do you want about?
He's talking about how angry he was at his client for his conduct.
Okay, this is great so far.
Yeah.
They would have been suspended, if not expelled. And I certainly would have punished them. But it wasn't Officer August Nard's job to punish. And all I could see after watching these videos that you'll see over and over again is a disrespectful, belligerent inmate, not following simple orders, but at the same time I saw corrections officers Bills and Garcia politely escorting an irate inmate to a cell. They maintained their composure. They were professional. They were using the least amount of force necessary, and it all seemed reasonable. In fact, when you rewatch that first video and you see the couple of squirts through the door, they're trying to open that door and spray him as he was ultimately.
A couple of squirts to put out that flame on the barbecue. The grandma voice really came out when he said irate inmate. Don't you know, Sonny? That made me angry. Why don't you just have a Werther's?
You saw in the second video, he was hosed in the face.
Whoa, sir.
And then taken to the infirmary. They were just
what was that?
He was hosed in the face.
What kind of motion was that, buddy? My Lord.
Him as he was ultimately, as you saw in the second video, he was hosed in the face. And then taken to the infirmary. They were just trying to back him off so they could shut the door. You saw it and you can see it again. Now, despite inmate Morgan's misbehavior and being escorted to a cell, no blows were exchanged, no kicks, no spits, no bites. But then when the code 3 is given, and we've heard the corrections officers suggest that that can mean one of two things. There's a threat of force or force. Officer Nard, you see in the video, is walking reasonably calmly, but when he sees that there's when he sees that there's an incident occurring in the cell, then he scurries. He actually runs, as he's probably supposed to. But at the run that occurring in the cell,
look at this.
Then he scurries. He actually runs.
Sir, you don't need to do supposed to body movements. And scurry.
At that point in the video, you see
fail me now.
Officer Bills and Garcia holding onto the handle or pushing on the end of the door. There's no violence, but there's obviously an incident going on. So, Corrections Officer August Merritt, without assessing the situation, impulsively yanks the door open. Watch the video. He sees stepping back, at this point the door could be closed, but he sees stepping back inmate Morgan. And he sees inmate Morgan away from the door, but in a combative stance. And as Officer Nard testified, he squared up, went in. And then the testimony would show that he punched maybe multiple times. Inmate Morgan, he certainly admits to using his baton. And you heard in the rules infraction board audio that was played. Inmate Morgan didn't have to say a word. But he talks about how the guy who didn't know him yanks open the door.
Mouth was full.
Punches him.
He was being polite.
Uses his baton on him. Puts him across a desk. And then through the audio that you were played through Trooper Schuler, he nipped.
He
That's the only thing he could do. But he did it.
He nipped. I just love the way he discounts it.
He nipped.
He nipped.
It's the only thing he could do.
Just took a
But he
little
did.
nibble.
The question before you
He
is,
nipped like my little Pekingese dog.
was the
He just said
force in
nipple.
this situation?
He said nipped.
Once the, pardon. Yeah, Bills and Garcia at the door.
He did less damage than a chihuahua. He just nipped.
Pushing home.
Chihuahuas can be
When
nasty.
yanks that door open and charges in when he sees
I'm sorry?
Chihuahuas can be nasty,
Oh, yeah.
little
That
buggers.
is true. They can. They don't do a ton of damage, though.
No, they can.
Can they? I don't know. I
Yeah,
did have
they
one
can rip
chase
your
after me
face off.
a couple years ago in Mesa. I was out on a walk and a chihuahua got out.
They look small,
Yeah.
but they can bite your damn face off. They can. Careful.
Well, I was like concerned because the dog kept like going after me and I kept like acting tough. And I was like, if this dog charges me, I'm going to have to punt it. And I didn't want to punt the dog, but like I was kind of at that point.
If you imagine if you had like a really bad injury and you had to tell people it was from a chihuahua,
True.
that'd be embarrassing.
I had a Pekingese bite me. She was an asshole.
Yeah, like if like a cheek was falling off
Yeah.
and
Pekingese bit my lip. I was trying to give her a kiss. I was like 11. And apparently, like, she had this thing where if you breathe on her or like blow in her face, she snaps at you. And I didn't know that at the time. So I guess I was exhaling as I went to kiss her and just,
she doesn't like mouth breathers.
no,
No.
I wasn't the only one she bit though. So, Safa.
Morgan, but then does the same thing and charges in. Is it really necessary? Morgan, but then Nard yanks
This guy.
that door open and charges in when he sees Morgan, but then does the same thing and charges in. Is it really necessary? Because the judge is going to instruct you.
This
You've
guy's
heard it
such
through
a
the trial.
nerd.
Corrections officer may use
He's
force
a
only
bigger
to
nerd
the
than his
extent
client.
deemed necessary to control a situation. Necessary reasonably under the circumstances.
Do you think the prosecutor shoved him into a locker in law school?
Yeah. She would.
She would.
She would have you for breakfast, that chick.
Yes. He probably tried to ask her out one time and she just turned him down and made fun of him, humiliated
Yeah,
him
she
in
would-
front of all her friends,
She would have slapped him.
right?
Was it necessary? That's what this case is about.
Necessary?
And you don't have to listen to me ramble on, and I'm not going to be able to rebut. I don't have the burden of proof. The state does. The state will be able to rebut what I'm saying right now. But what's irrefutable,
You think this guy's, do you think Diane or this guy's testosterone level is lower?
The guy on the left.
The lawyer,
No, sorry.
Diane
She
from
had
the,
high tea.
no, from the
Oh, you're
Goebbels
talking
trial.
about Diane. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Why are you going back to a trial that we're not watching?
I know. I'm sorry. Well, that guy's judging the defense lawyer there.
He's judging
are the
everyone.
two videos that you have an opportunity to see while you're deliberating. And you've heard all the evidence and the testimony. Mr. Morgan asks you to find him not guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Newberger. Ms. Nicholson?
Thank you.
The corrections officer is permitted to use reasonable force to control an inmate or to respond to resistance by an inmate. An inmate has no legal right to resist reasonable force. An inmate does have the right to resist and act in self-defense to reasonably defend himself against excessive force. When can a CO use force? self-defense from physical attack or threat of physical attack, defense of others, and when necessary to control or subdue an inmate who refuses to obey prison rules, regulations, or orders. This case is about rules, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Newberger's right. Rules that inmate Morgan simply refused to follow. He chose to break the rules by being out of place. Officer Bills then addressed him and asked him to lock down, and he said no. From the moment Officer Bills confronted him, he was argumentative. He said, I'm not going to the cell. Absolutely not. I'm not going to the cell over colored pencils. Tries to walk past inmate Morgan or Officer Bills multiple times. Man, you tripping. Get out the way. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Beat me up? Get to doing it. Spray me if you want to. I will fight, and I'm a good fighter too. Don't grab no spray, man, because I fight.
Don't grab no spray, man.
He said he's gonna go to Lucasville. You heard what that means. He's gonna level up. When they get back to his cell, he remains argumentative. All of that, looking up and down Officer Bills, applying his uniform, his spray, all of that don't mean nothing. I've dealt with bigger motherfuckers than you. That was his attitude the whole time that Officer Bills was calmly speaking.
Cool.
And yeah, they were trying to shut the door. Officer Bills told you that. That was my objective, shut the door. He didn't let that happen. He refused to be locked down. And so Officer Bills sprays him with OC spray, a tool to try to gain compliance. And they call for a signal 3, which you've heard everybody say is an emergency response requested. You can see Officer Nard start to run. It's very clear when that signal 3 is called. When Officer Nard arrives, there is a struggle. You can see that on both videos. There is a struggle over the door. He can't be locked down at that point. He's got to go to medical. Everybody's told you that. The door is opened. Here's how the door is opened. Mr. Morgan helps pull the door open. Officer Garcia's hands are on the door. Officer Nard pushes the door open. At that point, help has arrived, as Officer Bills tells you. Our goal was to lock him down until help arrived. Officer Nard was the help. So the door gets open, and they're now going to deal with Mr. Morgan. They're going to deal with his continued non-compliance. And so what happens when that door is opened? Mr. Morgan takes a fighting stance. This is Officer Bills' video. You can see that Officer Nard's hands are down. Yep, his PR-24 is in his hand. Investigator Kerner tells you that is standard in a signal 3 response. You respond with your PR-24 out. Mr. Morgan has immediately taken a fighting stance. This is Officer Nard's video. His hands are not in view of his camera, and the defendant has 2 fists raised, ready to fight. You've also heard from everybody. COs are under no obligation to wait to be struck. He had already been told close to 20 times to comply. The defense would want you to think that Officer Nard is now under an obligation to try to talk to him again. He's got an inmate ready to strike. An inmate who has said repeatedly, mace me and I will fight you. I'm a good fighter. He took his glasses off. He was ready for a fight. And he squares up to Officer Nard, who responds, not by punching him in the face. You heard the defendant say that repeatedly. Watch the videos. You'll never see Officer Nard punch him in the face. And certainly not in the timeline that the defendant presents. He says, he came in and immediately struck me twice in the face, pushed me into the cell, then struck me with the PR-24. You can see Officer Nard make 2 quick strikes to the lower abdomen of the defendant with his PR-24 and then drive his shoulder into him and push him back into the desk. That's what's reflected on video. That's what Officer Nard testified to. That's what Officer Bills testified to. That is not what the defendant repeatedly told Trooper Schuler and the Rules Infraction Board. Officer Nard did not make an impulsive decision. He arrived on the scene of a chaotic, resisting inmate. And he had to make a decision for the safety of himself, his other officers, and the other 100 inmates that are out of their cell that they are responsible for. And so he did use the least amount of force necessary. You heard Investigator Kerner. It's all the same. He'd already been maced. That didn't work. So he used his PR-24. That didn't work. And so then he went in and went hands-on with the defendant. Nothing about that is unreasonable. Nothing about that is excessive. And in opening, Mr. Newberger wanted you to believe this was 2 incidents. I ask you to use your common sense, ladies and gentlemen, because the judge is going to tell you that you can't. This is 1 incident. I'm not sure where in the course of this video the defense would have you believe that a separate incident starts. They never secured the defendant. He never stopped resisting. He never stopped breaking the rules. And so corrections officers did what they had to do. Mr. Morgan didn't like it. He didn't want to do what they told him to do. So he bit Officer Nard.
It was a nibble, ma'am.
Maybe that's all he had at his disposal. Maybe he didn't have his hands available to strike. He couldn't get a good hit in. But Officer Nard's shoulder was right there. He was going to take it. You heard Officer Nard say there was a sound, a biting sound, a chomp. It broke the skin. It left a bruise. Go watch the video. Watch it over and over and over again. Because what it will show you and what the facts are is the defendant refusing to comply with anything.
No.
And corrections officers doing what they needed to do. And based on that, I'd ask that you return a verdict of guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholson. Members of the jury, you've heard the evidence in the argument
Let's get to the verdict.
with the court that such circumstances, theological and conditions that surround in or to apply reasonable judicial, even if you later decide it is wrong. Findings with intelligence and impartiality.
Blah blah blah. So the charge is assault.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
it.
Third degree felony. Yep.
And he was going to get out in 2028, right?
Yep. So he's facing up to 2 years.
Is that all for
this?
felony?
Yeah. Yeah, and the jury was not out very long.
Please be seated. Mr. Stanley, are you the foreperson of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you tell me, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yeah.
Would you please hand the verdict forms to Mr. Logston, please? Thank you. In the matter of the state of Ohio versus Benjamin Morgan, the jury finds as follows. As to count 1, we, the jury being duly impaneled, sworn or affirmed, find the defendant Benjamin Morgan guilty of assault as he stands charged in the indictment. This verdict form is signed by all 12 members of the jury. As to the additional findings, the jury finds that the offense was committed on the grounds of state correctional institution. This additional finding is signed by all 12 members of the jury. There's a second additional finding. The victim of the offense was an employee of the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. This additional finding also signed by all 12 members of the jury. And the final additional finding, the offense was committed by a person who was incarcerated in a state correctional institution. And again, this additional finding is signed by all 12 members of the jury. Does the state wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Newberg?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that concludes your jury service. So now you are free to talk about the case, discuss it with anyone or your experience as a juror with anyone, but you're also entitled to your privacy, so you don't have to. I know Ms. Burnside would like to spend a few minutes with you. I think she introduced herself yesterday about some survey.
Guy.
The injustice.
I know. We need a free Morgan. So I guess he goes to sentencing now. He currently, they say, is an outdate of August of 2028.
Now, if only he had had more lunch.
I know.
This could have been
only
avoided.
got a Snickers from commissary.
Sentence, Ms. Nicholson.
Your Honor, there is no input from the victims. I will note for the record that he is currently incarcerated on a charge of attempted murder out of Cuyahoga County. with an out date of August of 2028 currently. He does have other records to include burglaries, robberies, aggravated assault. The court heard the facts at trial. We would ask for a minimum 24-month sentence to be imposed.
Mr. Newberger, anything on behalf of the defendant?
He may want to speak on his own behalf.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, anything you want to say?
This is good.
Yes. What is 24 months?
2 years.
2 years.
I shouldn't laugh. Some people don't have education, so
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
he's going to talk about something that happened this morning when he was waiting. He was watching a older woman who stole from the PTA and got caught being sentenced. And her husband and her father spoke on her behalf. She was older, and a lot of time had gone by. She had a criminal record when she was younger, but she'd been doing good and then stole from her kid's PTA. So he watched all that. There was a time he was talking with his lawyer, and his lawyer and him both got yelled at by the judge while one of the family members was giving their statement, which is kind of awkward. But he's going to bring that up here.
That's a recommendation. Is there anything you want to say on their behalf?
Yes, I truly wasn't. I truly wasn't trying to even that. Even when he said it happened, Judge, I just lost. I went through a lot. I was going through lots of stuff already. People were taking things of mine, and I'd been going through that for a minute, and I really wasn't addressing. I was trying to address it. And when I was trying to address it, when I was having stuff taken from me, I was trying to address it with the officer. And at the time, I had already just going through stuff. And the incident between me and that officer, like I said, like he said, we have never had a problem. Never had a problem. And when he came into that, and when that happened, that incident happened, I never thought that I would even would go through something like that. So I apologize to the court. But the thing of it is being responsible, being an adult and being responsible is the thing that I've gotten older now, and
he's older.
I've seen a lot of stuff. So and then I'm going through a lot of stuff right now also, and I had been fighting some of the issues that I had been writing you, and that's probably was the cause of, like the young lady was saying to you earlier. When she was telling you that we had to, the first lady that was here with her family, and she was telling you how she stopped and was changing her life and seeing things, and had to be also the same way. I've gotten older, and I've been through lots of stuff as a youngster, and it's like I finally. Took me this long to find out that I have to stop and look at myself sometimes.
Judge!
A lot. And I'm getting older. And I don't have a problem with facing if I know I'm wrong on something, as I'm older now, I don't have a choice but to face it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Fuck this judge.
If I'm right about something,
no,
I'm right. But I never attempted to I never wanted to harm him with my illness or anything else. I never meant that.
Mr. Morgan, that's not what you're charged with. You're not charged with attempting to inflict him with your virus. That's not what you're charged with. You're charged with biting him.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, had it been the additional, had the state at least pursued a theory that you were intending or attempting to inflict him with the virus that your body carries, that would have been a more serious charge than what you're faced with now.
But the thing of it is, Your Honor, like I said, I had been going through people that was taking things from me at that time. And
it goes off on him here.
When this incident happened, the only thing that I could do at the time, and I shouldn't have, but I don't usually bite people. I don't. And so I apologize for that.
Well, Mr. Morgan, you talk as if there's been this big gap between this incident, because you even referenced this young lady this morning where there was a 15 or 20 year gap between her last offense and this offense. This offense happened 18 months ago? I mean, it wasn't like we're talking about something that happened 10 years ago. It happened 18 months ago, but you're wanting me to believe that in this last 18 months you have grown and matured and figure out.
I have. I mean, I have no choice. I mean, I've really gotten a chance to really take a look at some of the stuff.
Then the other thing is that you mentioned was that how you as a man need to take responsibility when you're wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Are you saying were you wrong here inviting him?
Yes, sir.
Then why do we have a jury trial over this? They offered you 9 months in prison. In addition to add it onto your current sentence. And now we spent the last 2 days, you've been traveling to and from Toledo the last 2 days. I got 2 corrections officers getting up at 4 a.m. to transport you from Toledo this morning. Why did you go through all this if you were wrong?
I found out by listening to all the things that you explained, you guys explained about what you call her. And then I started looking at it myself and started saying, well, maybe they,
All right. Courts consider the statements made here today the purposes and the principles of sentencing, the relevant seriousness and recidivism factors. The court does find that you're not amenable to community control. So the court is going to order a sentence of 24 months in prison that to be served consecutive to your current sentence. A consecutive sentence is necessary to punish this defendant. It is not disproportionate to the conduct or danger posed by the defendant. And this offense occurred while the defendant was already incarcerated with the Department of Corrections. You have 0 days jail time credit on this 24 months. You are indigent for the purpose of any fines, costs, or other financial sanctions. You are subject to a mandatory period of post-release control. So on this offense, like what you're currently serving, the Adult Parole Authority will supervise you for up to 3 years, but not less than 1 year. If you violate that supervision, you can be returned to prison for up to 1/2 of the court's original sentence. If your violation is that you commit another felony, you can be returned to prison for 1 year or the period that you have left on PRC.
So, 2 years. So you'll get out in, I think, August of 2030.
This judge, okay, he's elected, right?
Yeah.
Sorry I get mad at this judge, but he recently had a viral moment, and I don't mean the biological kind.
Did he?
Yep. Yeah, he had 500,000 views on another channel for a moment when he went ballistic in a sentencing.
Yeah. I don't know why that video got so big, but
because he did that kind of thing.
Let
me finish.
Okay.
Right. So he had a tantrum at a defendant like that, and viewers love that. Right? He's a mean judge. Okay. He had a tantrum at a defendant like that, right? And I did not like the way he just he talked to somebody else and he looked away, and he was very, very rude at that very one moment that the defendant had a chance to speak to the judge. He has one chance to speak. He sits in a prison cell all day, and he has one chance to have his moment to speak to the judge, and the judge could not even give him his attention. And it's very performative. It's very for the cameras, in my opinion, because he knows that people are watching now, right? And the public are going to love it because he's just like, and now I'm going to say my piece like that. And he does this, the speech to the public like, well, why have we got officers getting up at 4 a.m. to take you here when you were offered 9 months, and boom and boom and boom. And that moment he's hoping is going to go viral again. Why? Because he's going to get reelected. He's going to be another Judge Simpson. He's hoping.
Possibly. I will say that I've watched Teep for over a year now, and it's only in the last 3 to 6 months that he's really gotten popular. Or
exactly
more. I haven't seen any difference though in him. He always did that kind of stuff.
You think he doesn't realize?
Maybe.
You think he's not getting wind of the fact that people are watching him and he's getting views?
He's always had that demeanor on the bench. like there's a lot of judges I will 100% agree with you are
Mhm.
media whores or TV
Yeah.
whores. Judge Boyd is the worst one I've seen by
Judge
far.
Boyd's the worst. Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
Um
I'm not saying that his ruling's wrong at all. I just
Yeah.
I did not like his performance there.
Yeah, it was a little
I thought it was
dismissive, I guess.
overly dramatic. That's all. He
Beth.
gave the right ruling
Yeah,
for sure. I just feel like it was
That's
very
fair.
much for the cameras.
maybe.
Yeah, that's all.
Why is the
We'll
judge
see.
gonna
We'll
tantrum,
sorry.
David?
I'm going before a judge on the 17th who is going to have a tantrum. Are you? Well, you have a tantrum back.
Don't suppose it's televised. And put in a media request. And why do you want to watch? Why do you want to record this hearing? I want to see David be yelled at.
So CJ, also though, like just because he's running without opposition doesn't mean that he doesn't want the support of the electorate, right? Doesn't mean someone else isn't going to come along and try and oppose him. It is an elected position, so you still want the support of the people. You still want to be popular. So, and there's an ego thing going on as well. Like once people start to get views, trust me, I'm a YouTuber. I know. I see people when they change, when they start to get like a lot of viral attention.
You know, Hella started change about a month ago.
Shut up. So did Charlie.
I
Look at
did.
him with all these girlfriends.
I know.
Oh, he's so handsome. Yeah, once people start to get like attention from more than just their
bubble,
their usual bubble, yeah, they change and they start to like relish it. So yeah, I'm just. And you say his demeanor hasn't changed. Maybe not. Maybe he sees it as being, oh well, what I'm doing is working, so I'm going to do more of that.
Yeah,
you know,
it could be.
But I just thought that was overly dramatic. That moment. But anyway, maybe I'm too cynical.
Yeah, and I mean, not really that important for a judge in Ward County to have public exposure. There hasn't been an incumbent judge losing this county for decades. Same in Maricopa County, I think. Like we've never, at least here, it's never been like we need to get this judge out. It's always just kind of been whatever. Like, okay, just keep them. I mean, I pay attention more now, but that's only because, I do this. So what do you got going on, Hella?
I might stream tomorrow. We'll see. I'm working on some things. I was going to do a stream on the ridiculously appalling coverage that Hit a True Crime did on the Richard Allen trial, and I'm digging into that. I have some footage from the infamous lunch live that Lauren did that turned a lot of her viewers away. And when I say a lot of her viewers, a lot of her viewers. And I keep hearing about this lunch live. Oh, it was that lunch live when I unsubscribed. And I'm asking people, what lunch live was it? And they can't find it. But I think I found it. And yeah, there's something sus about it. So I'm thinking of doing a live on that, but I need to get a little bit of information around how that occurred. So yeah, I might do that because the Richard Allen case really is important to me, as you know. So yeah, that might be the topic for tomorrow. We'll see.
Nice.
Was it in her car? They were always in her car, half Irish, but this one is interesting about where her car actually was at the time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, awesome. We will have to check that out. I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for more courtroom roulette. There's a tiny chance there will be another trial tomorrow, but probably not.
Okay.
So just keep an eye out, guys.
Okay.
Let's see. Huh, cat's still going. I guess I'll send y'all over there. So, okay, guys, cat raid. I shall see you guys later. Bye.